Well, how about that? Even Stevens, draw, unbeaten in 7. Hey. Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to the Score Science. My name is Luke and this is the post-match reaction for Brentford vs Everton. Brentford 1, Everton 1. Now, before this game, if someone would have said to me, you know what Luke, you have played quite a few games in the space of a few weeks, would you guys take a draw? I would have said yeah, why not? But, you know what, looking at that game, I do genuinely think we could have went away with a win. Now, don't get me wrong, absolutely love the bones of Everton, but Jesus Christ, mate. Oh, what were you doing today, mate? Were they your shooting shoes or were they what? Did you have banana skins on your feet today? Because you didn't have your shooting shoes on today, mate. But we'll talk more into detail on that one. So, first off at Everton, Brentford were trying to send a message. They were saying to us that they are going to score. And they tried to make sure that within the first 5 to 10 minutes. So, nice solid hit from one of their lads across goal. Well, not across goal. Basically, long distance shot. Came quite close to going in, but was just wide of the post. And fortunately, Pickford did have that area covered. However, we can't take that for granted. So when a keeper does go across and they cover that ground, that's great. But all it takes is that ball to go under the arm. I have seen it time and time again. I know you guys have seen it time and time again. All it takes is that one shot where all they do is they go across and it goes right under the arm. Goes right past them. So yeah, I never, when someone says to me, oh yeah, you had that. No, he didn't. They never 100% have it. They've covered that ground, great. But they have not guaranteed that save. All it would have taken is for a freak bounce or anything like that. And that's it. So yeah, outside of that, it was quite literally a fairly even game, I will be honest. Brentford had the lion's share of the possession in the first half, I will say. I'll probably say about 60-40. I haven't looked at the stats, but that's my safe assumption. It was like a 60-40 in favour of Brentford. And the good thing is, though, we did actually try and make our chances. So, I think it was on the 30th minute mark. Around the 35 minute mark, we had a little break. So, Harrison managed to put one through. Harrison threaded it through to Beto. And then number 5 tried to get to the ball and slipped over himself. And Beto was pretty much breathing right down his neck. Slipped over him but carried on. Now from there, he was pretty much on his own, one-on-one with the keeper once he managed to get himself up, got the ball, tried to go one-on-one with the keeper. However, for some reason, Flecken had Beto's number today. Basically, Flecken made himself nice and big, and Beto basically just hit it straight into him. It was not going in. It was never going to go in, just for the fact that the second he had himself big, he was reading Beto, he was watching Beto, and all Beto had to do was slot it, and he was just watching, waiting. He had himself big, but he had himself wide as well. If Beto was have been a bit more calmer about it, instead of trying to take that extra touch, he could have slotted it and nutmegged him. However, chose not to. Tried to take that extra touch and keeper managed to smother it, get it out the way. Problem was put away. And then shortly after that, coming close to half-time, around the 40th to 43rd-ish minute, basically in the 40th minute mark, we had another moment. So, ball got cleared out and Alcaraz managed to get the ball, headed it. Nice strong header, put it past the defence and Beto overlapped him to get onto it. And again, another situation where one-on-one with the keeper, all he had to do. So basically, rather than doing what he did last time, last time he basically tried to take the extra touch and the keeper had him. This time he tried to go straight for goal. Keeper managed to get a palm to it. He was on the edge of the box. And from there, just pushed it just wide of the post. Now in that situation, all Beto had to do there was go for a cheeky chip. He could have quite easily gone for a cheeky chip. Just when he got the ball, rather than just trying to hit it, could have seen that the keeper was off his line and just put it over him. Just nice simple kick over, and it would have went over him. And I would have put my house on it going in from that situation. But yeah, so corner, nothing really came of the corner. Usual sort of Harrison corner, basically. Nothing coming of it. Brentford managed to clear it out. And then just before half-time, their guy, I can't even think of the name of the Brentford players because, oh my God, there's just too many names. And most of them are foreign names that are really hard to remember. But yeah, one of their guys, nice solid throw, basically channeling us in and Rory to lap. Nice long throw, basically bounced around our box and Burmo got a header to it. Got the upside of the crossbar and it just bounced but came back into play. Now, when I say that, basically hit the square of the top, square of the bar, it bounced up into play and one of their lads, Wisser, Wisser managed to get a nice flying header in. Basically, Lindstrom should have had this in all honesty. Lindstrom should have been I understand. It's very difficult in the situation of this game where you've got a ball and it creates carnage as well. So ball comes off the crossbar. That just basically everyone goes into carnage mode. You're just like quick, crap. What's going on? You just lose yourself a little bit in that regard. But I think Lindstrom should have been marking his man a little bit better with this one because he was on Wisser. He was right ahead of him. He was basically goal side of him. And when that crossbar moment happened, Lindstrom, for some reason, his brain just switched off for a millisecond. Wisser managed to take advantage of it, jumped up, got the header in, 1-0. So going into half-time, 1-0 down, they had a decent share of the possession. And I've got a feeling Moyes, I'm not sure what he said to him, but to be honest, I feel like it may have potentially fallen on deaf ears. Now, don't get me wrong, it probably didn't fall on deaf ears, but coming out, it was quite literally a situation of second verse, same as the first. So they were hitting at us again. Basically, it was again just another exchange of box-to-box sort of playing. But the thing was, we just didn't seem to have the bite. I do feel like this was going to end up being a game too far for us. This might have been the first loss in about 6 games. However, we carried on. We persevered. And they came close to having a 2-0 advantage on us. Thankfully, with Pickford coming out, this is the weirdest one. This is always the one with the way the offside rule works. It's so ambiguous how the offside rule works. So how it is, you've got to have 2 players between you and the goal. So when Pickford come out and the defender come back, you've got 1 player. So with them having basically, let's say Everton player, Brentford player, Pickford. If Pickford would have been back on his goal line, it would have been Everton player, Brentford player. However, because he's gone forward and they've threaded to pass through, that guy's in an offside position. It's so weird how it is because when you looked at it, you thought, oh Christ, they've scored, yeah. But then when I saw the referee's flag go, the linesman's flag go up, I was like, okay, what's going on? What is going on here? Because that's not offside, is it? And then when they're explaining it to me, I'm like, oh Christ, I did not think of it like that. I genuinely did not think of it like that. Now, here's the thing. Would that have gone to VAR? Because with the way the ruling is around the offside being so very strange and ambiguous, would that have gone to VAR? Because I may have a small feeling in the back of my mind, it may have not. So it might have been a 2-0 and then the offside rule would have been brought into question. Someone who's a lot more knowledgeable of these sorts of rules and regulations, because let's be honest, the modern day football rule set is so wide, vast and vague. It's just become an absolute mess. It's very difficult to make it black and white just because you've got situations like, okay, well, what about this? What about that? Pardon me. So yeah, so we had a bit of a scare there, but we took that, I think we took that on board. That was a scare of, okay, we could lose this game. Let's try and get something out of this. And we pushed on and pushed on and pushed on. And I think Moyes left the subs for a little bit too late, in all honesty. So Lindstrom come off, Idrissa Gueye come off, and Timothy Burnham came off for Idrissa Gueye, and Ashley Young came on for Lindstrom. Now, to be honest, I thought that was a bad move, in my opinion. I felt the want to have done there. Now, don't get me wrong, Harrison today actually had a decent game. He was bossing that left-hand side. Him and Mikolenko were making really good runs left all the time throughout that left-hand side. And they were covering each other well. Likewise with Lindstrom and O'Brien. Now, don't get me wrong, Lindstrom had a bit of a quiet one today in comparison to some of the other games he's had, but he still had a good game. Likewise with O'Brien. Now I'm going to talk about him in a little bit more in a higher detail in a minute, just because he scores an absolute cracking little Superman header there. Nice little diving header, but we'll talk about that in a minute. I just felt like the overlapping runs between both the left backs. Apologies, it is bloody late. I've got to get up at bloody 5:30, so I'm getting this done just so you guys have got this content to enjoy. But yeah, so the overlapping runs either sides of that field are nice and good to see. Now, don't forget as well, your left winger and right winger are almost false wingers, so they've got a bit of a dual job there. So when we're in possession, our fullbacks push up the field and become almost like, they become wing backs in a sense. So Lindstrom and Mikalenko become the wing backs in that situation. This is the weirdest thing in all, because I'm thinking about it right now. It's a 4-2-3-1 situation, but we've got, how can you put this? You've got a left back in Mikalenko. Okay, left back Mikalenko. You've got O'Brien, Tarkowski, and Brantwaite. So there's your four. Not in that particular order, by the way. And then you've got Lindstrom, Idrissa Gana Gueye, James Garner, Harrison, Alcaraz, and Beto. So it's a 4-2-3-1 the way they've got it set up. But it acts like a 3-5-2-1. These bloody things are confusing. But yeah, you get where I'm coming from. So the way it works, our fullbacks basically become the act as ad hoc wingers when the wingers come in, and then when we're out of possession, they come back and they basically become wing backs in a way. It's a very strange tactic that Moyes does. It's so confusing even for me. I can only imagine what the opposition coaches look at when they see this. They're going, okay, so he's got a 4-2-3-1 there. Then it goes into a 3-5-2-1. Okay. And then when they're out of possession, it becomes a 5-4-1. Huh? That must be what's going through their heads when they're looking at some of these sometimes. But yeah, so I am digressing severely. I'm going off topic here. So back to the game. Around the 80th minute mark, I think it was like 85 minutes. Pretty much pushing up with the ball. Nice transition up with the ball. You see Jake O'Brien going into the box. He lingers around the edge of the box just for a second. And then Mikalenko makes a cross in. Jake O'Brien beats his man. Nice, solid diving header. Full-on Superman moment. He is literally the Irish Superman in that situation. Gets the goal. And you know what? The way he sort of celebrates, nice and calm. He's like this. Keep it calm, keep it calm. I'll be honest, if that was me, I would be smashing that corner flag. I would be flying into that corner flag. And I would be screaming at the top of my lungs, trying to get the fans going, because let's be honest here, they've gone all the way down to West London. They have travelled a distance to get there. Good God, I am so sorry. I am exhausted. It has been a very long day. I've been up since 5:30 this morning. So once this is done, I'm getting this edited, getting this up, and I am getting to bed. But yeah. So Jake O'Brien scores a nice goal. From there, we just keep at it. We just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Brentford doing the exact same thing. So it is quite literally evens to evens with this game. It was. Honestly, we were the same team almost. So Everton being crap in attack, decent in defence. Brentford being crap in defence, great in attack. It was quite literally two opposites. If you were to take, let's say, for argument's sake, Wisson and Burmo, and swap them out for, say, Harrison and Beto, they would quite literally, we would have had a perfect squad there, and they would have had a rather shocking squad, in all honesty. Don't get me wrong, Harrison had a good game, but yeah, you get where I'm coming from. If we were to swap weaknesses and strengths, it would change the dynamics of the squads completely. It would almost perfect the squads in a way. But yeah, so around the 90th minute mark, nice little run on there. So ball got broken through. Alcaraz was run across the right alongside Beto. Beto was on the left, Alcaraz on the right. Beto had one of two options. He had two options in front of him. He could have gone for goal, which was very difficult. That was basically going for goal was a 10% chance of scoring, or he could have put it through to Alcaraz, he would have had a 70 to 80% chance of scoring. And he chose 10%. Alcaraz was pissed because Flecken managed to get himself nice little, managed to get just enough onto it to deflect the ball, and it ends up going out for a corner. However, it had just enough fizz on it so that Alcaraz didn't have enough time to get to it, and he was furious. He basically, all you saw from him, you could see it, he was pissed off at Beto. He goes straight, as he's goes straight out of play, sees the ball going across him while it's out of play, and he just slams it. See? He just, everything into it, slams it into the advertising board, and then he turns around and sees one of the balls on the cones and launches that one as well and gets a yellow card as a result. You know what though? I do not blame the frustration. In that situation, you would have thought, Beto, all he would have to have done was just put it to the right. Alcaraz would have been through. It would have been a goal. It would have been 2-1. However, wasn't going to be. And at the end of the day, I think a 1-1 draw was the fair result. So at this point now, under Moyes' reign right now, in the Premier League, we've got one loss, 3 draws, and 4 wins. You know what? 1 loss in 8 is really good, I think. It's absolutely brilliant. So right now, we've got more wins than draws under Moyes. I do think what is the next game? Wolves away. I'm going to that one, by the way, as well. It's at the Molineux, so Wolves, watching them against Liverpool, they really did actually give them a good fight. Attacking-wise, it's no lean feat for them. They are really going for it. It's just similar to how Brentford is, but a lot worse. Their defence is absolutely shambolic, and the build-up play can be something more to be desired. So for that game, I do think we're going to have a couple more players back, I think. I think Dwight McNeil should be back by then. So there's another option we may have. So we may have another option on the left or even in the centre. You could potentially look at saying, you know what, Alcaraz, we have a false winger sort of situation here where you guys come in. Why don't we put you on the left? See how that goes. Because he's got good play about him. He has seriously got good... He knows how to build a play. He doesn't shy away from challenging the opposition. So I do think it could be an opportunity for him to go there. And I mean, I saw on the bench there, Chimiti's back, so that's good to see. I mean, I want to see Chimiti starting to bleed his way into the first 11. Even if he comes on as a super sub here and there, I do think now that we've got another striking option and one who's got a little bit more pace and better, because this is it. Chimiti, to me, is a lot more like Calvert-Lewin. He's an opportunist sort of player, so he will linger around that defence. You'll thread it through. He'll beat his man and have a go at goal. And he's got confidence with his feet as well versus Calvert-Lewin. Because as we know, Calvert-Lewin loves it on the head. Not very much on the feet. So, time will tell. I think Moyes has got a good little issue on his hand now because he's got players coming back. He's got Patterson back now. He will have... he's got Irbernan back now when he's had a couple of games. He's doing decently as well. Not doing amazing. He's not the Irbernan I remember when we first got him. But I think he's going to definitely build back into it and he'll adapt to the Moyes sort of play style. So yeah. And you know what? Why not give Lindstrom a rest? You know? I think rather than putting Ashley Young on, we could always put Dwight McNeil on the right. With him being a left-footed player, what's stopping him from operating down that right wing, cutting in and having a crack at goal? Is because we know he can put it on a dime with that left foot of his. So yeah, that's all I've got to talk about really today. Like I said, I am a little bit tired at the moment, so this one might be a bit more of a rambly. It's more of a, how can I put it? As some people have said to me, waffling video. It is a bit of a waffle video today, unfortunately. I do apologise if that's how it comes out. But overall, decent results. I think we could have got a win there. I mean, Beto had 3 opportunities that I can think of off the top of my head that he... If he would have sunk one of those 3, it could have ended up being 2-1. I mean, if it was early enough, it might have even been a 1-0 win or a 2-0 win. You never know, you know? But let's put it like this. It's another point on the board. We didn't lose. So let's take that as a positive. But in any case, guys, I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate your continued support. Now, if you know any Evertonians that would appreciate these sorts of videos and enjoy listening to me talk, why not share it over with your friends? Also, you know what? I don't think I say this enough. I do seriously appreciate the continued support that you guys offer me. It is really, really greatly appreciated. And you know what? Keep doing it. Keep being awesome, guys. Enjoy the 10 days, I think it is, before the next game. So enjoy the 10 days of no football. It is the FA Cup, so yeah. Pick a team in the FA Cup. See, I mean, I want to see Plymouth. I want to see Plymouth do well in the FA Cup. See how far they go. But yeah, guys, again, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your week. Up the toffees and peace. Oh, before I go, very quick. So with there being 10 days off, I'm going to try and focus around the grounds a bit as well. So I'm going to try and do a little flyover of Goodison at some point in the week. I'll do a flyover to Bramley Moor as well. So we'll still have content coming out on a regular basis. So don't worry about that. The channel won't go dark for a few days. We'll definitely have some stuff coming out. So yeah, for the final time, guys, take care. Enjoy the rest of your week. Up the fucking toffees and peace.